tour that we're doing visits, I think, 4 different villages in the Cotswolds.
So what we're going to see today has been like this for centuries, and hopefully will remain like this for centuries to come.
I can't even imagine how old some of these headstones are. You can't even make out the dates on anything. He said if you do a Google search for the Cotswolds, this is generally what you're going to find.
So what we're going to see today has been like this for centuries, and hopefully will remain like this for centuries to come. They are very strict with their building controls and what can and can't be altered out here. We'll talk about that in a little while. There's a few buildings you might be interested in going to have a look at whilst we're here. The first one is St John's the Baptist Church, which is an incredibly nice church in its own right. It attracts around 100,000 people a year. The other place you might be interested in popping your head into is the chemist or the pharmacy. So Burford is home to England's oldest chemist. First opened its doors in 1734. It's still trading today, and they've got all the original bottles in there from when they first opened as well, with all the weird and wonderful potions used to give out back in the day, including things like arsenic, believe it or not. You can't buy that anymore, so don't get any ideas.
Good morning from the Cotswolds. Got up early from the hotel this morning, got on a tube, transferred over to our tour, and after about a 2-hour drive, we made it to the first town of Burford. So we are in the first of, I think, 4 different villages that we're going to visit today in the Cotswolds. Pretty neat little area, just checking out the little main street, checking all the shops, and seeing what we can find. So the little main street in Burford here is lined with all kinds of different shops. Like I said, there's bakeries, there's a chemist, also known as a pharmacy, sheepskin, I mean, you pretty much name it, but it's right up this little hilly area. Beautiful little town. I had to pop into one of the local shops and get a coffee and a hot chocolate. Sorry for the sun glare behind me, but it is a beautiful day. Clear sky, cool temperatures. Beautiful to be walking around checking things out. Burford almost reminds me of Gatlinburg in a way, doesn't it? Yeah. Cheryl's looking at real estate. Wow, check out this cemetery at the church. I can't even imagine how old some of these headstones are. You can't even make out the dates on anything. Wow. Lots of old history here. See if I can find a headstone where I can actually read the date. Not that one. We found a headstone we could actually read. Henry Holland died in 1864 at the age of 91 years old. His wife died 1850. And their eldest daughter died at age 23. Wow. So much history. This little road in Burford is one busy little street. Lots of traffic. All right, heading back to our tour van. What do you think of Burford? Yeah, gorgeous. Gorgeous little town. So the tour that we're doing visits, I think, 4 different villages in the Cotswolds. I think at each stop we have maybe an hour, which is enough time to kind of get out and explore a little bit, visit some of the shops. One of the stops coming up, and we'll have enough time for lunch, so looking forward to that. But it's a neat way to get out and explore the area.
Because £10 back then, for 5 days profit, is an incredible amount of money. Yeah, and that was commonplace. You know, quite happily take your wife to market and sell her. I can't imagine nowadays if I went home and said to my wife, "I've put you on eBay. I've had enough. I've done free shipping just to get rid of you." I can't imagine what she would. Well, I can imagine what she'd say. It wouldn't be very polite, that's for sure. You can, however, go to some shops in Burton-on-the-Water, and there's about 3 or 4 shops. You have to do a bit of a visit where you can actually buy balls of wool or balls of yarn. So you could go away and knit yourself something if you wanted to. So just drop down into Bibury. When we get down, I'll drop you off by the old mill.
Made it to our second stop of the Cotswold tour, which is Bibury. Is that how you say it?
I think so.
Bibury. Bibury. Our tour guide said up here there's a row of cottages, I guess, which is one of the most frequently photographed area in the Cotswolds. He said if you do a Google search for the Cotswolds, this is generally what you're going to find. This famous row of houses is called Arlington Row. They are a picturesque line of 14th century weavers' cottages that was originally a wool store. Now owned by the National Trust, these cottages are a major tourist attraction and have been featured in films like Stardust. The cottages can be viewed from the outside, and 2 of them, numbers 1 and 9, are available to rent through the National Trust. So second stop on the tour, Bibury. Pretty cool little town.
Yeah, definitely.
We saw the row of cottages, I guess, that is most frequently photographed.
I don't see a whole lot of shops or anything, but there is a hotel down here.
Yeah, there's only really one gift shop, I guess, that you would call it.
Yeah, but I wonder if everything else is maybe up on the hill. I'm not sure. We'll
yeah,
have
that
to
could be.
Figure that out.
This was a short stop. I think we only had like a half an hour, 25 minutes here, so don't have a lot of time to explore the town, but it's a good little introduction.
Definitely. Very cute.
We saw a swan in a little, I'm not sure if you'd call it River Creek or whatever,
They have a
which
trout
coincides
farm,
with the Swan Hotel.
and they have a trout farm
Yeah,
and pumpkin patch, I believe.
which I think there is an admittance fee for the trout farm, but that's right off the gift shop. Still a very scenic little area. Lots of photo opportunities here. All right, so we made it to our third stop of the Cotswolds tour. Here we are at Burton-on-the-Water. This is our lunch spot, so we're trying to find a place for lunch. Cheryl found a burger place, I think, that we're eyeing. If we can find it. Again, really neat little town. Oop, car behind you, babe. Try not to get run over by a local or a non-local. We are checking things out. All right, well, our first choice of lunch was a bust. We had about an hour and a half wait list, so couldn't do that one, unfortunately. So we are trying to find what our choices are. Lunch, success. Got a half an hour to walk around town, check things out, see what Burton-on-the-Water has to offer. Burton-on-the-Water is known as the Venice of the Cotswolds because the river Windrush flows through its center, spanned by low stone bridges. The village has a long history with evidence of settlement dating back to the Neolithic period. After lunch, we decided just to walk around the village a bit, check out some of the numerous souvenir shops, and pick up a few things along the way.
Everybody knew where Stow-on-the-Wold was. It used to sit on the junction of 6 major roads. So if you were travelling across the country, almost in any direction, the chances are that you'd have to go past Stow-on-the-Wold. It was a very well-known place for many, many centuries. So the word Stow means a church or religious place, and Wold we know means rolling hills.
Alright, so we made it to the fourth and final stop on the Cotswolds tour, Stow-on-the-Wold. Walk around here, we only got about a half hour here. One of the things that they recommended was come in to check out one of the churches. Rumor has it that this door was the inspiration behind J.R.R. Tolkien's Doors of Durin that appears in the scene of Lord of the Rings. Today, the door is one of the most photographed doors in the Cotswolds. Another old cemetery outside the church. Stow-on-the-Wold is perched high on a hill. At an elevation of 800 feet above sea level, it's the highest village in the Cotswolds. Known for its old market square, cozy tea rooms, and narrow lanes once used to herd sheep during huge wool fairs. It's the perfect place to slow down, wander around, and soak into classic English countryside vibes. Alright, so that was Stow-on-the-Wold, and that was our fourth and final stop of our Cotswold tour. We're heading back to the van to take us back to London. Overall fun day. Cher, which village do you like best?
I like Burton-on-the-Water.
I think that was probably my favorite. Just, I don't know. I think it was kind of cool with a little
We had the most time there.
water. Yeah, the most time there. The little water thing running through the village. It was neat. So, alright, we're going to head back to our tour bus, make our way back to London, and we'll talk to you again when we get back there. Thank you very much for watching. Please give us a thumbs up and drop us a comment below. Have you been to the Cotswolds? If so, let us know what you did and what you enjoyed. If you like this type of content, then please consider subscribing. Your support means the world to us. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.